Hello and welcome. This is Jason Waddell, and I'm looking at Bobby Owsinski's Audio Mixing Bootcamp. And soul searching, what I've done is taken the DVD files and copied them already to my drive. So a little drag and drop there. There are Pro Tools and Studio One files. He has a great tutorial already with Pro Tools session. And I'm going to do one for Studio One. So here it goes. When I click on this, double click on it, it automatically opens up all of the tracks and files. And it might take a minute depending on your system. My system, I'm monitoring the performance down here. It's not really struggling or anything. I do want to go to the Browse menu, and up top here, there is, of course, Files, but Pool is where I want to go. Pool is here's all of the tracks or all the files, and as you can see, they're all labeled differently in different ways. And over here, it's created audio tracks for all of these, and I'm trying to scroll down here. That one doesn't have much on it. And I'm seeing drums, I'm seeing a lot of different things. So one thing I want to do, there's some color coding there, is try to figure out what everything is. I also already have my marker track open and my arranger track, but I guess I can close that for now. Because here's the start, okay? And one thing I like to do is go all the way over here and make sure my ending marker is somewhere out here as well. So it looks like it needs to come out further, maybe even over here. I don't know what's there. I got to listen to it. So this is where soloing comes into play, trying to figure out where stuff is. Not only that, going to my ruler and my timeline and using my space bar and B3. High bip, so yeah, it sounds like a B3. Okay, very cool. So if I didn't know what that was, B3 or whatever, I could label it as such. And this looks like that was the high, so this must be the lows of the B3. Yeah, and so mixer-wise, there they are, right there. Cool. All right, and there's nothing going on right now. It's not in. So first thing I'm doing is I'm familiarizing myself. So I would actually go over here, and I like to color code. So I hold shift and select both tracks just in a dark gray area here. Then come over, and when you color code, it's going to color code them together. I have no idea what color to put on organ, so ooh, bright yellow, how about that? So I kind of got the idea of what that is. This says bass cab and bass direct. Okay, so that's probably the bass, right? They recorded with a mic on the cab and recorded direct. That it's pretty common. Let's just check it there. Yeah. Cool. And there's some bass again. You select both. Make them whatever you want. A lot of people want bass as blue. That's fine. Okay. So, there we go. You kind of hear what it's like with and without. So the first thing you want to do is go through, figure out what everything is. Solo and mute. I could tell you that some of this labeling is not too bad. It looks like background vocals bridge. Okay. And it sounds like this start here, I'm going to actually right click to change that. So I right clicked, and what I want to do is double click in here and change this to intro. I'd rather it say intro anyway. And then maybe sometime in here, let me let everybody play. Okay. Notice I'm in time base of bars, and if it didn't come up like that, you might want to do that. I'm also going to make things bigger because I'm seeing measure 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. I'm not seeing every measure, and I like to. So, hey, there we go. Now I'm kind of seeing the measures. And it looks like somewhere right in there is where the vocals are coming in. So, this is where somewhere I could do a marker. I'm going to add one here. And double click. I'm going to call that, I don't know, verse 1 for now. Okay, so once again, I'm getting to know the song, and this is important because if I right click create arranger sections, I'll just do that to show you. Voila, in the arranger it gives you these nice arranged big old, and you can color code these too if you wanted to. You could change the colors. Point being, here's the color thingy right here. Point being, it gives me section by section help. So I know when I like to concentrate on one section at a time. Now, say these aren't in the order I want them, and I'm going to tell you they're not, okay? There's many ways we can move them. We can move them here. We can move them in the mixer. Looks like I've got percussion instruments, voices, a Wurlitzer. I like to do them by group. So as I went through, I would find, for example, drums, and I like to start with my drums at the top. I'm going to go into the mix window and see if I could kind of find, oh, there's a tambourine. I'm going to hold control. There's a tambourine. That's probably a tom, And again, I would have to solo these. What else do we have here? Snare, room, overhead. Okay, and I'm going to try to pull these babies over to the left. Basically, I'm trying to get all the drum tracks together. That sure does make it easier. You know, when you're dealing with a drum set and mixing, it's great to have all of the drums together. So I like to build from the drums up. Some people like to build from the vocals. Okay, this is, building from the drums to the bass. Notice I'm moving the bass next over here. And out to, vocals. And I'm worried about the center of the mix right now. And so, again, going through, you could relabel things here by double-clicking, okay? And, I see a hi-hat here. I see a kick. I see another kick. Overheads, that might be drums, okay? So I'm going to drag these. So I've clicked them. Now I'm dragging them to the left. And what I'm doing here is putting them all in order. Now over here, another thing I could do, making sure my instrument panel is up, okay, because here it's not, there it is, I could turn them off, there we go. So I am going to go through here and say, if it doesn't look like a drum, I'm going to stop viewing it. I'm going to take it out of my view. So I'm clicking and holding, and they are going bye-bye, literally being grayed out, okay. So there we go. So it looks like I mainly just have, let me kind of look around here. I have taken out many of these instruments. I was on a group. Oh boy. Okay. So that's okay. So looks like I need to take these out too. Look, I think those are background vocals. B3. Okay. Bass. There we go. All right, now I think I mainly just have the drums right in front of me, and I like to work from the bottom up. So I would probably put my kick drum, again, see how I'm moving everything around. Kick in and kick out. That means there are two mics on there. Overheads, right, overhead, left. Those should probably be next to each other. By the way, the right and the left mean this, right, left. Snare, bottom, snare, top. Boy, these are labeled really well. It will not always come to you that way. Okay, hi-hat. There's a room there. I'm going to move it over here for now. Tom 1, Tom 2, tambourines. Okay, get the idea. So I'm just working on the drums right now. And my goal is to hold shift. And I start from the first one all the way to the one on the right. What am I going to do? I'm going to do two things. One, I want to add a bus channel for the selected channels, okay? Basically sending them all to a aux channel or bus channel, some people call it. So I'm going to do that. And I'm not just going to call this bus 1. I want to call this the drum bus. This will give me overall volume control, for example. And here's all the tracks going to it. And so that's important to know routing wise. So all of these pieces of the drum set go to the drum bus, and then the drum bus goes to the main out. So that is something that you would want to do for each section. So I can go over here, click and hold goodbye instruments, bring in my bass next, and grab my basses. I want to do a add. Let's do that. That's fine. And a bass bus. Now, I may or may not need this, but again, I'm preparing for my mix.